Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for dedicating 45 minutes of your Thursday evening to come and learn more about enterprise and our opportunities. My name is Sophie Bannister. I work at Enterprise Mobility, and I have worked for Enterprise Mobility for around 7.5, bordering on 8 years now. So I started on the graduate scheme as a graduate. I just graduated university and worked straight at Enterprise, worked my way up into the management side of the business, and then I came into the talent acquisition side of the business around 4.5 years ago now. So quite a long time. And I kind of go into universities. I look after the region in the Northwest, if you can't already tell by my accent. And I go into the universities in kind of Manchester, Liverpool, Lancashire, that kind of area, and connect with students looking for opportunities. So some of you, as I said, might have met me there. If you have, then thank you so much for coming and learning more. Now I'm going to pass on briefly to Anna. Anna, would you unmute and just give us a little bit of a career timeline of yourself as well?
Thank you, Sophie. Mine's going to be very, very brief. Obviously, not as long as yours. But yeah, I'm a Lancaster University student. I'm studying business economics. I am currently in my final year, but I did placement year with Enterprise, and yeah, did 13 months there last year in Reading. Even though obviously I'm from up north, it was a bit of a weird one, that one. And yeah, currently studying business economics, doing my final year, and being a brand ambassador for Enterprise. Basically, all that means is that I'm kind of helping between. I'm the person, the middleman between Sophie and the students in Lancaster University, my university. Again, helping people learn more about Enterprise, really. Yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah, no, perfect, Anna. And I'm going to come to you at various points of the presentation. A couple of questions. If anyone has any questions for Anna about her placement year or the campus brand manager role that she does or anything like that, then please do pop that in the chat box as well. But for now, we're going to get started with the presentation. So I thought it might be helpful to give you a bit of like an overview of Enterprise. So Enterprise Mobility at a glance. So you can see there's some kind of headline figures. You can see kind of the global revenue that we've got in the fiscal year of 2023, which is 35 billion, which is unreal. We've grown that company, and it's a family-owned company still to this day. And we've grown that company as it was founded in 1957 with just 7 vehicles and one guy with an idea. And now we're at over 2.3 million vehicles as a company, making profits like that, which is crazy, and with over 90,000 employees in the business, bordering on 10,000 in the UK. So loads and loads of opportunities in the UK and everywhere else on the globe as well. We're in over 90 countries as well, and territories. That includes the corporate businesses, the enterprise. I'll get into kind of the different brands that we own as well as Enterprise Mobility, and the franchised businesses that we've got across the globe as well. So there's just some headline figures for you. This can kind of be found on our website as well if you wanted to delve a little bit deeper into that. So Enterprise Mobility, relatively new brand. Some of you might not know who Enterprise Mobility are, but we actually launched this brand back in November. Before, you might have known us as just Enterprise, or you might have known us as Enterprise Rent-A-Car, but we decided to rebrand our company as we do a lot more than just rent cars. So as you can see on this slide here, all of these little kind of logos at the bottom half are all now covered under Enterprise Mobility. So Enterprise Rent-A-Car, or just Enterprise, you'll probably have seen the vans, the cars, everything like that around the UK, lots of branch locations up and down the country as well. So that's probably one of our better known brands. But now we also have all of these other amazing brands that no one really knew about before. So we like to talk about them, and there's opportunities to work and to grow within your career in every single one of these businesses that kind of sits within Enterprise Mobility. So just to mention a couple of them, National and Alamo, you might see at airports. Integral is actually a tech solutions company that we now own. So we're not just car rental anymore. We do a lot of tech side of the business as well. We've got Enterprise Exotics, which is your really high-end vehicles. We've got one in the north and we've got one in the south as well. We've got Enterprise Flexi Rent, which is our commercial side of the business. Really, really big part of our business is Enterprise Flexi Rent, and we've got depots all over the UK. They deal with kind of specialised vehicles, long-term leasing to corporate businesses and things like that as well. So from there, you can rent everything from kind of like a refrigerated lorry if a business needed one, to golf buggies for festivals and everything in between. So we really can kind of capture the market and cater for all of our customers. And then we've got Enterprise Car Club as well, which some of you as students might have heard of. These are dotted around bigger towns and cities and outside of universities and train stations and things like that. And you can actually rent from a younger age as well. So some of you might have even rented an Enterprise Car Club, which is hourly rental. You can rent from half an hour to a full day if you wanted to as well. So that's just some of the brands you might have heard of, some of you might not, and they're all covered under Enterprise Mobility. So one thing I do like to talk about is our values, and that's because they're really, really important and they underpin every single decision we make as a business. And when we're looking for new people to join our business and to be, the next generations of leaders, we are looking for people that have values that align with our own. So I've physically not got time to go through every single one of these, but to pick on a couple of my favorites, and I say that they are kind of all really as important as each other, but our customer service is our way of life, is really, really important value of ours. Customer service is how we have built our business to the growth and the extent as to what we have in the last 60 years or so. And customer service really is one of those things that is, it's pivotal to our growth, and we just pride ourselves on our excellent customer service as people. Every person that we hire into the business, we make sure that they also are able to deliver exceptional customer service, which allow us to grow as a business and kind of meet customer expectations as well. One more I'm going to pick on is we strengthen our communities one neighbourhood at a time. And I'm actually going to cover this in a little bit more detail on another slide, but basically we're talking about all of the extra things that we can do in the neighborhoods, the towns and cities that we do business within, all the extra things like giving back to our communities, maybe doing things for charity, donation, things like that as well. And I will, as I said, cover that in a little bit more detail. These values can be found on our website. And if you are planning to apply for a role, I strongly urge you to go on the website and look into these values in a little bit more detail, just to make sure that they do align with your own. And it's really good to talk about these kinds of things in interviews as well. Anna, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there a particular value that really, really kind of resonates with you that you talk about a lot?
I was going to say the customer service one as well. One that I found was really key with my branch is the teamwork one. Like, our organization is a fun and friendly place where teamwork rules.
Yeah.
I think there's been so many days where we would all just kind of synergize together and kind of come together to make this whole day, run smoothly, and for us to, yes, obviously serve the customers, but also make sure that everyone is doing their jobs. We're going through all of our like admins, and we're doing exactly what we need to do at the end of the day. And yeah, I found that teamwork was definitely a big one for us. You really did like get to work together, and of course the fun and friendly place outside of work as well. As an area, we kind of had a couple of days out, going to different places. We did go-karting. I remember that was a really good one. But yeah, teamwork definitely.
Nice. Yeah, I think teamwork's really important, as well as you're there to learn, you're there to develop, and making sure that your team are behind you and giving you what you need to get to that next step and get promotions and things like that as well. But yeah, I think being a fun and friendly place is it's one of them things that you might not think about initially. Of you go to work, do you have fun? But actually, I think if you can find a company where you do that, you're going to do well, and thrive in that environment as well. So thank you, Anna. Okay, so I touched upon strengthening our communities one neighbourhood at a time, and investing in our future is a big, a big deal for enterprise as well, in ensuring that we're keeping up with sustainable mobility, as one of these say, and kind of switching our fleet to electric vehicles and hybrids and things like that as well, and moving away from kind of petrols and diesels. So that's one of the initiatives that we are really, really proud of. We're kind of leading the way in the automotive industry at the moment for implementing new technology within to our fleet of vehicles. But also some of these amazing initiatives that we've got as well. So I've kind of just picked a couple on this slide. I could talk about this for hours. And again, you can find more information about lots of other initiatives on our website. But just to pick on a couple, the Fill Your Tank initiative, that's something that we've been doing for a few years now, where we team up with food banks, and we kind of make sure that we are present and available in the kind of neighborhoods that we operate within. We have employees from our branches and from our offices get involved with this. They might go and deliver food in a food bank. They might volunteer there for a day and things like that as well. So that's something that we're really, really proud of. We've got the 50 million tree pledge as well. So that's been going now for a number of years, where we have kind of set out to donate 50 million pounds to over 50 years to plant 50 million trees. It's all the 50s. And we're kind of well on our way in doing that now, but we've still got a way to go. So that's just a few of the different things that we put money towards, and we kind of really invest in the local communities and the globe as well. So the 50 million tree pledge is done over North America and Europe, so it's not just in the UK. And another really important thing, I say really important quite a lot, but there's lots of important things for us to make sure that we are an amazing employer, and that people will enjoy working for us, and we can also give back as well. So we say everybody has a seat at our table, and that's because we are we're a very diverse and inclusive employer, and we kind of strive to be better at that every single day as well. So just a few awards that we've been recognised for. We are now the Gallup Exceptional Workplace Award. That's based on surveys that our own employees have filled out. We're a Stonewall top employer as well for the LGBTQ plus community. We are on the Social Mobility Index in the top 75, and we're also a disability confident employer as well. So making sure that we are really, really inclusive of everyone, that we provide equity to every single person that applies to our roles, and that everyone has kind of that equity within their role and given what they need to succeed as well. There's just a couple of quotes on the screen there from people that work at Enterprise that may have a disability, or have needed additional support, and kind of how they feel about working at Enterprise Mobility as well. And this is just a fun fact. I'm not going to kind of stay on this slide for too long, but last year alone, 20,000 employees across various positions in our business were promoted or took on new challenges within the business. And that really speaks for our promote from within culture. So you'll find 95% of the people that you speak to at Enterprise started off as either a graduate or a placement student like Anna, and then they will then move up the ladder, they will get promoted, they will have that development opportunities and the training that they need to get through to that next stage. And we had over 20,000 people employed, 20,000 of our employees promoted last year, which is unreal. So last one about our awards. We do have a lot of them, but I hope that kind of makes you feel good about the company that you're here to learn about. So we are in the Times Top 100 Graduate Employers. We've been in that now for a good few years. I don't want to say a number because I'm not exactly sure. I think it's 8, but I'm not sure. We jumped significantly this year. We're now kind of really well into that top 100 as well, and not kind of trailing back near the 90s. So we're really, every year we're listening to our 4 years, sorry, not 8 years. Sorry, Sam. So we are really listening to our employees. We're taking on board what they're saying. We're kind of really making sure that we're a good company to work for. And we're also, which we're really, really proud of now, on Rate My Placements, Best Student Employers for Placements, of course, 2nd place. which is, there's only one more place to go, and that's number one. But we're really, really proud to be. Oh no, we are number one. Sorry, this hasn't been updated. We were second last year. A couple of weeks ago, we actually ranked first.
I was about to say, am I wrong already?
No, we are first. It came out about 3 weeks ago now that we moved up from second place last year to first place. So out of every employer that offers a placement year, a year in industry, we rank first. So again, I hope that makes you feel good about this company, and it might even persuade some of you to apply. So I'm here mainly to talk about the management training program. We do have other roles available. They can be found on our website, which I will link shortly. But the main role, as I said, most people do come in to enterprise through the management training program, whether that's the grad scheme or the placement year, or we even do some summer internships as well. But you kind of learn, no matter how you join as a graduate, as a placement student, that first year looks very, very similar. You're doing the same roles, you're learning the same things, and the aim is to get you into a management position as quickly as possible. So 5 reasons I would say to be a management trainee. There's a lot more reasons than 5, but for the sake of a 45-minute presentation, I'm going to stick to just the 5. Your business understanding. So first of all, I want to point out that you don't have to come from a business background to be successful at enterprise. Using myself as an example, I studied drama and theatre studies at university, so absolutely nothing to do with business. So what I definitely did was gain a lot of business understanding and learning how a business operates, what makes it profitable, how you develop customer service, loads and loads of things like that. Obviously, a lot of people that do work at enterprise do come from maybe a business management background, or as Anna said, she studies business and economics, which is brilliant, but you don't have to have studied something like that to be successful. We're a training program, so we will train you and teach you and develop you on how to run a successful business as well. You also develop professional skills. So I'm not saying that you wouldn't already have professional skills. Of course, you will develop these through university, through professional relationships you've got with lecturers, tutors, maybe in part-time or full-time jobs you've had, but you definitely will develop these skills as well, and really kind of put them into practice in a business setting. You're able to grow relationships. So that's in a number of different ways with a number of different people. You'll grow relationships with your colleagues, with your managers, with senior management as well, because we do have an open door policy. If any keen eyes were on the values, one of our policies is our doors are open. So you have got access to speak to lots of senior members of staff and, employers at, kind of vice president level and kind of managing, senior management and department leads. You're able to then develop relationships with external people as well. So other businesses, corporate businesses, commercial businesses, lots of different people like that. Even universities, like Anna has developed her relationships with careers teams at her university from doing the campus brand manager role. So actually you're able to just grow relationships across your professional career with lots of different people. You get a great support system. I remember when I started as a trainee, really scary. Obviously, I'd never been in kind of that setting before, but straight away felt at ease with the people that were around me day to day within the branch, but also kind of the, people that weren't there every day that I had touch points with, like my area manager and, senior management beyond that, and also mentoring as well. So we do have a really great mentor scheme in place where everyone that comes through our doors gets a mentor. That'll be someone that you don't work with every day. So it gives you a really good outsider perspective on kind of what you need to do to get to the next stage. They can give you some really great advice. And it comes from people that have probably been in your position as well. So all your managers, everyone that you speak to will have done your job at some point. So can offer you a really, really great point of view and kind of give you that solid advice that's going to get you further in your career faster as well. And last but not least, you get rewarded for it. So again, keen eyes, one of our values, we work hard, but we reward hard work. That's a tongue twister for me. I always have to say it really slow. But getting rewarded is what you go to work for. You want to get paid, you want to get promoted, you want to, you want everything that comes with having a career, and making sure that we have got loads of kind of incentives and things like that in place, and a really competitive salary as well, which is going to see you get rewarded. And because of the internal career progression that we offer and the structure that we have, which I'll show you shortly, you get rewarded by promotion as well, not just kind of monetary values and bonuses and things like that as well. So this is the career timeline that I've alluded to. So for most people that start on the graduate management training program, or as a placement or an intern, you start off at the bottom there where you can see it says management trainee. So if you are on a year placement, you typically, probably within that year, you'd get to that second point where it says management assistant, and then you would go back to university. You've got opportunities to work part-time within the branches at that point if you've done a year in industry, or you can do a campus brand manager role, or you can do both. So there's lots of opportunity to keep your foot in the door if you do a placement and then go back to university, as Anna has done. If you start as a graduate, you start as a management trainee, you typically look again in that first year to be promoted through management assistant, which is basically when you pass your training, you get that automatic promotion to management assistant when you pass your training, which typically lasts 10 months, but each individual is different. Some people do it faster and some people do it slower as well. And then we typically say to be an assistant manager, you're looking around that 12 to 14 month period. But again, people have done it faster, some people have done it slower. It really depends on you and your drive to get those promotions and your performance and things like that as well. I became an assistant manager within 13 months, so slap bang in the middle of kind of the average. So the kind of timelines we're giving you are realistic for everybody. And at that assistant manager level, you really do step up your responsibilities. You are then the pivotal person in the branch. You've got a team of people to look after. You are kind of the logistical manager within that operation as well. And you're looking after a multi-million pounds worth of fleet, which is quite scary, but really good step up in responsibility as well. The next step after that would be branch manager. So actually that branch is yours at that point. You can implement things, you've got the whole team to manage. You manage development within your employees. You're not just looking after your own development. Then at that point, you're looking at getting all of your members of staff within your branch promoted, making sure that they're developing, that you're doing one-to-one meetings with them about their development and things like that, as well as looking after the profits of the branch and making sure that you're running a balanced business. As you can see at the branch manager level, there's lots of different ways you can go from here. So using myself as an example from here as well, I went from this stage into the human resource management team, which is where I sit now as a talent acquisition specialist. But if you at this point decided that maybe you wanted to go into a specific sector of the business, maybe the risk team really, really intrigues you and you wanted to go into that team, you are then at that point able to apply for lots of different roles internally. So that sees a lot of diversity within where you can go at enterprise at this point. Or you can go down the traditional path and move into a more senior manager route in the area manager, group rental manager, and things like that as well. So there's lots and lots of scope for you in your career. It's not to say that you set yourself on a path, that's where you're going to be in 10, 15 years. You can move, you can swap, you can change. There's nothing to say I'll be in talent acquisition for the rest of my career. If a job comes up and I like the sound of it and I think I've got the right competencies for that role and transferable skills, then I can go for whatever I want to go for and apply for that internally. So loads and loads of scope where you can go as well. So skills that you can develop within any of the roles really at enterprise is your communication skills. Of course, again, these are a skill we assess for within the interview, but you are able to then develop them once in a position with enterprise as well, in speaking to lots of different people, dealing with customers from lots of different backgrounds in different situations. It allows you to really be, flexible with your communication style and really develop that skill. You definitely develop your customer service experience. Another competency that we do ask about in interview, so any kind of experience that you've got with customers or dealing with people is always really, really valuable to us, but something you will also develop and really, really kind of excel at as you go through your career with enterprise as well. Time management. Anna, I'm sure you'll agree here, but it can be quite quick, can't it, in a branch, and every day is different. So time management really is key, isn't it? Seeing a lot of nodding heads there. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, as you said, every day is different, and you have sometimes where you start quickly, where the customers are coming in the morning, when the customers, different times, and it's just making sure that time management is a big one, definitely, and you'll learn that from just seeing what your assistant managers are doing, kind of picking up on a few skills, picking up on a few kind of little pointers of how you can do better, really, how you can improve on it, definitely.
Definitely. Leadership. So obviously we are a management training program. So we're going to develop your leadership skills. We want to see you in a leadership position within quite a quick time period. So whilst we will 100% develop your leadership skills and your managerial skills, we do look for evidence of this as well in your interview. So anytime you've had the opportunity, even if it was just a one-off that you've had to step up, talk about it in your interview. It might have just been your manager rang in sick for your part-time job one day, so you stepped up and you delegated, and that can be a brilliant example of a leadership quality that you might already have. Same as if you've kind of led on a project at university or anything like that, showing those leadership skills is really, really valuable to our company, but something that you will 100% develop. Even in the first couple of months, you're already straight away, you're in and you're developing those managerial skills ready for your first promotion. Your emotional intelligence. This is so important because, as I mentioned before, you're dealing with customers. You can have one customer, that you're dealing with 5 minutes before, and they're super happy. They're getting married this weekend, they're renting a car, and it's all really nice. And then you can have a customer 5 minutes later, and they might have been sat on the side of a hard shoulder on a motorway for 4 hours waiting for the AA because the car's broke down. So you really need to read people, read the situation, and act accordingly as well. And that's something that, whilst it's a skill that many of you might already possess, you really do learn to kind of nurture that and develop that throughout your kind of time on the management training program. Marketing and sales is a big part of the role, so it's not all kind of just customer service and that's it. You're doing everything from customer service, sales, you're going out marketing to accounts and making sure that everyone's happy. You're also developing new leads and trying to open up new businesses and things like that, that will use our services that we can offer. You're dealing with financial side of the business. There's tons and tons of things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So you will definitely develop marketing and sales skills. And going back to that time management, you're doing all of this kind of in a day. So really kind of learning everything on the job. You also learn to problem solve because sometimes your manager isn't always there to tell you what to do, and we want to develop everyone to make their own decisions and things. So you are definitely there to kind of help yourself solve problems as they come in. And sometimes it can be quite a reactive business with working with people and cars and things like that. So being able to problem solve is definitely something you will gain. And then last but not least, adaptability. So this can be in a number of different ways, but being able to adapt to different situations, to different people, different sizes of teams, different branches, different working hours. Like there's loads and loads of ways that you're going to learn to be adaptable within the business as well. So this is our application process for anyone interested in applying. You first fill out an online application. Doesn't take long at all. You literally go on the website, you can pick whatever role that you want to apply for. Please just, if you're applying for the management training program, just apply for one job, one location, and we will just go off wherever you want to work. So if you're in London and you want to work in London, apply for a London job, but don't apply for 10, just apply for the one. It doesn't take long, I would say 10, 20 minutes, making sure that you fill out all of the details that's needed. Don't leave anything blank, as a little tip from me. We don't require a certain grade or ask for a specific subject. So I know someone's asked already in the question box, where can data science fit into the company? You really don't have to have a specific degree discipline to come and work. If you've got an interest in management, or you want to work with people and you know, that kind of thing, it doesn't really matter what you've studied, as long as you can show us the transferable skills that you might have learnt throughout your degree as well. We don't take CVs, so it is just the online application that we'd ask for. We don't ask for a cover letter or anything like that either. If you get through the application, then you are invited to a virtual interview. So it's normally done on Microsoft Teams, and it lasts around half an hour in length as well. This is with someone from my team, so it would just be a one-to-one. It's nothing too scary, no panels or pre-recorded videos or anything like that. It's just a conversation, and we'll ask you some competency-based questions. So I've already mentioned some of the competencies being leaderships, you know, communication, customer service, things like that. And then the last but not least, if you pass through the virtual interview stage, you are invited then to one of our branch visits. So that means that we would arrange for you to go into one of our local branches, where you get the opportunity to meet a team, see what it's all about, make sure that it's the right environment for you, make sure that you're happy with the culture and things like that as well. And it just gives you a really good kind of day in the life of experience, rather than an assessment center or anything like that, which is simulated. It's actually, you're in one of the real offices, so you're able to see exactly what goes into kind of the job and what people are doing and things like that as well. Anna, I wondered if you would just talk a little bit about the branch visit as well. Obviously, you did a branch visit, so how did you find that experience, and what tips would you maybe give to some of the people on here today?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I definitely was looking forward to it. As you said, it's an exact kind of way to figure out exactly what's going on with the business. You're able to see what the day-to-day activities are, because I think you know, you always have like thoughts and maybe ideas of what it is, but it's really good to know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you actually start working. My tip, my main tip, and I think I got told about this from someone else, is to definitely communicate and engage. I really found that kind of talking to all the colleagues, kind of engaging with the conversations, even if it's not about enterprise, even if it's just small talk or anything, everyone really kind of appreciates that. And I think even being on the other side, where I was a trainee and I was doing my job, and those people coming in that were doing their interviews and branch visits, it was really nice to see kind of a fresh perspective on things, and they were asking you questions, and of course I'm here to answer them and boast about enterprise. So yeah, it was really nice to have like just conversations and talk about things. You also are able to kind of find more information that is not necessarily just on the internet, just on the website. You're able to talk to the people that actually, you know, work there, and it's the exact branch that you are going to be in most of the time.
Not always. Sorry, just to
Yeah,
correct you
not
there. So
always.
we never say, yeah, it's, you could be in, like what we normally do is we would put you in a branch visit within a certain area with a certain area manager. So that area manager is likely to be your manager when you start, but you could be in any of the branches within that area.
Yeah, well, I did mine with the exact team that I was going into, and it was really nice seeing the people the first time and then back again, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really nice, and I'll definitely say just kind of engage. Don't just, you know, sit there and, you know, in a little corner, but definitely engage, even with customers, if you're confident enough as well.
Yeah, 100%. Great advice. Thanks, Anna. And then that's it. If you get through the branch visit stage, you're a management trainee, a trainee on the program. So that is quite a quick process. It's all very personable. There's no kind of psychometric testing or anything like that. So really nice process, if I do say so myself. And that is it for now. So we've got this on the screen here. What I do recommend is if you follow our social channels, you can find out tons more. We share articles, we share interview tips, we can share industry news, things like that. And also a lot of the videos like this, that we're doing now get uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. So that's on there. Please do give us a follow on those channels and find out more and just stay in touch, definitely. I know Sam has already put my LinkedIn link in the chat, but if you haven't already got it, that QR code will take you to my LinkedIn page. So if you want to ask any questions after this, then please do connect with me, and I'm more than happy to connect and answer any questions that you might have. But for now, thank you so much. I'm going to unshare my screen now, so I can see a little bit more of the chat. And we've got a few minutes to just go through some questions that we've had. So first question, do you sponsor a visa? Okay, so with visas, we do ask that you have the 2-year graduate visa. With our grad scheme being a 2-year program, you do have to have a full 2 years on your graduate visa when you start with us, which you have to have obtained yourself. If, after that, if that expires after the 2 years and you still kind of work for enterprise and you're getting promoted and you're doing really well, then we can sponsor visas at that time. You just need to have your graduate visa set up for when you start with us. What are some key characteristics or aspects that are considered for promotion? So we look for people, we always look at people's personal brand. I talk about that a lot. So the way you perform actually in your role, kind of your numbers and that kind of thing, your customer service levels and things like that. But also just the way that you're perceived, are you driven? Are you kind of motivated and things like that? They're all really, really good characteristics for someone that's ready for a promotion. And actually just getting through your training at that point, if you pass your training, everyone knows you know your stuff and we know you know everything you need to know to become a manager within the business. So after that, it's literally about you and kind of your personal brand, kind of your performance and things like that as well. So I hope that has helped a little bit. As I mentioned before, so we don't ask for a specific degree discipline. So you could totally apply for a management training program with a data science role, with a data science degree. That wouldn't be a problem at all. But if you are looking for something a little bit more specific to your degree, then I would just recommend having a look through our website and seeing if anything stands out to you. Sometimes we do have kind of data roles that come out, but they are fewer and further between. They might be at maybe our corporate head office rather than all over the country like our grad scheme is. So it's worth just keeping your eye on our website and having a look through some of those other roles if you're looking for something a little bit more specific and don't really want to go down the management route. What happens if you've already applied for 2? If you've already done it, then don't worry. We will probably just get in touch and say, hey, which one do you want to work in? And then we will just kind of discard the one that you don't want, basically. But all it does, if you apply for 10 different roles, it just comes through to one person anyway. So it's not as if it's giving you 10 chances. We would just find out which one and we would just get rid of the rest. So just to save you time, just apply for the one role, the one location. If you're flexible on location, still just apply for one, but maybe let the recruiter that you interview know that you're flexible on location, you're happy to move. And that's always a good fact to know. Pay packet, so salary wise, it's actually just gone up, which is amazing. So for a graduate now starting in the business, you start training on £28,000 a year, which is a great starting salary. And there's opportunities to earn a lot more than that as well. So we have an amazing employee referral scheme, which you get paid £1,000 for every person that, if you refer a friend and then they get offered a job. Brilliant way of earning a bit more money other than just your salary. There's sales bonuses and incentives. There's also customer service bonuses as well. So a lot of opportunity to earn more than just your kind of basic salary. Someone here applied for a role who has been rejected. You can apply for a role after 6 months of being rejected. If you were rejected, for example, because you don't have a driving license and you now have a driving license, I would say definitely get back in touch and email that person that sent you that rejection note and just let them know you now have obtained a driving license, and that might mean, you know, you are eligible for an interview, or, you know, you're eligible to reapply. But if they just rejected you based on the competencies that we look for, you have to have a 6-month cooling off period. After 6 months, if you feel like you've done more, you know, that would mean that we would, you know, consider your application, then you absolutely can apply again. So our placement roles are an undergraduate opportunity. It's for students like Anna who do a year in industry between their second and final year. So not available for postgraduate students. We do summer internships, which can be found on our website. I would recommend just maybe having a look into those and seeing if anything fits. But as a postgraduate student, we would just recommend applying for the graduate role for when you finish your postgrad studies. We have hired a lot of master's students onto our grad scheme as well. Yes, international students are 100% able to apply. You just need to have your 2-year grad visa in place, and also you need to have a UK or EU driving license. And then we've got some more specific questions about location. Just to let you know, we have over 470 branches in the UK and Ireland alone. So no doubt, wherever you want to be, there will be a branch, or even maybe 2 or 3 or more, depending. If you're in a city, there's definitely more within your commutable distance. So any location that you want to work, we will have opportunity there. So don't worry about specific locations or even moving. But we do have opportunities to move as well if you wanted to, like Anna did. So Anna, you live in Hull, you went to uni in Lancaster, and you did your placement year in Reading. So you're a prime example of someone that was flexible and was able to move around.
Yeah, the only thing as well I was gonna say is I actually didn't apply for Reading. I applied for Woking. And after having a conversation with the talent acquisition saying that I'm actually going to be living in Reading, then they actually suggested, well, why don't you work in Reading if you're also going to be living in Reading? So yeah, it's a bit flexible in terms of, I would say, you know, if there's opportunities for you to go in, if there's places for you to go, I would say that, you know, it's not dead set certain. And also applying for stuff like Reading, there's 3 branches in Reading. So again, you know, you could be going to one of the other 3 or whatever. So yeah, I would yeah, I'm a bit of a weird one, bit of a mix. But yeah,
Whereas I
apply
applied in
for Reading.
Manchester and I've never moved, so you definitely can do both. It depends on what's good for you, isn't it? But the more flexibility you
Exactly.
can show, the better, really. You know, but either way is, you know, there's lots of opportunity, isn't there?
Definitely. Yeah.
We are actually at time, and there is a lot of questions. Well, there's a few questions still in the chat box that I've not had time to get to. What I would recommend is if you connect with me on LinkedIn and send me those questions, I'm more than happy to answer them in kind of offline. Just the last one that I did want to pick up on, because I've just seen it come in, is driving license mandatory? Unless you have a disability which doesn't allow you to have a driving license, for the management training program, the license is mandatory. Yes, you do have to have one for that role. We do have some office roles, and we have some customer care roles that can be found on our website as well that you don't need a driving license for. So again, just have a little explore, have a look what the eligibility criteria is for those other roles. If you don't have a license and can't apply for the management one, then you might find an opportunity in one of the other areas of the business as well. But thank you all so much for joining us, for taking 45 minutes out of your personal time to come and listen to us. Any questions that I've not answered, please do reach out personally to me, and I will make sure I answer them. But thank you, and thank you, Anna, for giving that perspective as well. A little bit more relevant than I am. So thank you for that. And I'll speak to you all soon, hopefully. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.